In your headline, scientists are looking into a new strain of HIV said to be more infectious and severe. The Clement Howell High hosted their Exit Readiness seminar, and the government has embarked on a project that will help the Turks and Caicos better understand the forces impacting the country's coastal lines and tidal waters. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your #1 source for news, I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Thursday, February 17th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In today's top story, locals are sick and tired with the continued attempts by homeowners in the affluent Leeward community to block off public beach access there. Earlier this week, the situation escalated with the removal of illegally constructed poles. Take a look.
In a viral video shared on Tuesday night, February 14th, a local man could be seen trying to remove several steel white poles erected at the entrance of a popular beach access in the Leeward community. The young man, from whose Facebook page the video was live streamed, owns a small ecotourism, water sports, and tours company. In the video, the young man could be heard saying, quote, "I am going to jail tonight. I am gonna take this off. I am going to stand for my people, man," end quote. An older Caucasian man could also be seen briefly following the local man, telling him to stop, to which he responded, "This is a public beach access."
This government needs to change, man. They're not even doing nothing for the people, dog. Us young people, Jumbi. Dog, us young people, they want us to go robbing and what they want us to do? This is where we make a living. And look what they're doing here. And the niggas say this is not a public beach access. Y'all boy. Hold up.
Their efforts paid off, and the deeply sunken poles were removed from the public's entrance to the beach. Allegations are being made in a viral WhatsApp voice note that the president of the Leeward Homeowners Association requested that all of the beach accesses in Leeward should be blocked off. Here's that widely shared voice note obtained by Newswatch.
I just planned these posts like yesterday. Just put them down yesterday. Because my boss and us to block off them beach access in Leeward. Because it's Leeward community we're doing that, you understand? The president of Leeward Association, someone come up with the idea, you understand? Man, I can't even believe that, you know what I mean? But which is right, you know what I mean? You can't block off my beach access, you know what I mean? But you know I had a job to do, you see?
Efforts to contact Mr. Stuart Howard, who is said to be the president of that association, were unsuccessful as a time of press. Newswatch will attempt to reach out to him once again to respond to these allegations. Meanwhile, the ministry has spoken out about the incident, stating categorically that TCI beaches and the adjoining accesses are for the enjoyment of the public as they have been for generations. The statement reads, quote, "It is illegal to block a beach access or attempt to prevent persons from enjoying the beaches and coastlines of the Turks and Caicos Islands," end quote. Anyone who contravenes the Beach and Coastal Vending Ordinance, which is the applicable law, is liable to a penalty of up to $1,000. That law states that no one has the permission to erect any permanent or temporary structure on a beach or coastal area without the permission of the Director of the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources. Newswatch has been told that the DECR is monitoring the situation in Leeward and has examined the site where the illegal poles were constructed, trying to determine the boundary line. But so far, nothing much has been done. Access to public beaches in some parts of the Turks and Caicos Islands continues to be a major issue, and in the Leeward community in particular, which houses the richer folk in the island, the issue has been particularly troubling. Locals continue to feel squeezed out of their own country and communities, marginalized by those who have the money to rub elbows with those in positions of authority, and expatriate residents who come to these shores and attempt to enforce their own rules. For PTV News Watch, I am Delana Als.
Seems COVID-19 isn't the only virus presenting stronger strains. Scientists are looking into a new strain of HIV which is said to be more infectious and severe than those in the past. We take a look at some national stats and details on that new HIV variant.
The strain, called the VB variant, was discovered in the Netherlands and is said to lead to more severe disease fairly quickly. So far, a reported 109 persons have contracted the new strain, which damages the immune system, weakening a person's ability to fight everyday infections and diseases much faster than the previous HIV strains. This also means that persons who contract the new variant may develop AIDS faster. Researchers have shared that the CD4 and T-cell decline, which indicates as a sign of immune damage by HIV, occurred twice as fast in people with the variant. Scientists say by the time these persons were diagnosed, they were already susceptible to developing AIDS within 2 to 3 years post-diagnosis. Officials say the amount of virus measured in a drop of blood indicates disease progression. The higher the amount, the more likely someone will progress and become ill. The course of treatment, at least for now, they say, remains testing and medication, as there is no evidence that shows that the current treatments are not effective. TCI health officials say private clinic numbers for 2021 are in the process of being finalized. However, we're able to share with Newswatch that PHC has reported 10 new cases of HIV. There was a reported 3 deaths in 2021 and 1 death in 2022. These numbers indicate patients who were enrolled in the client care program. Local health officials are aware of the new strain. However, no strong cause for concern is realized at the moment, and officials encourage persons to get tested and know their status.
Don't go anywhere. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. Today, February 17th, 2022, the Clement Howell High School hosted their Exit Readiness Career and College Seminar under the theme, Pursuing the Career of Your Dreams. We bring you the details. Shanta Seymour, appointed principal of the Clement Howell High School, opened the seminar with a poem she said resonated with her since 2003 as her first teaching job at the H.J. Robinson High School.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and every real life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is still as perennial as the grass.
She explained that ever since her first time hearing the poem, she thought that it was the perfect fit for some advice students needed to hear as they prepare to leave high school.
We are preparing you to exit the walls of the Clement Howell High School. You are about to embark on the wider world, new experiences, new people, new things. What we have taught you will go with you throughout your lives. Sometimes you are upset over the rules that we set, but there are reasons for those rules. When you leave, you're going to go on jobs with rules that you hate. You are going to go to institutions, other institutions, higher learning institutions, with rules that you despise. But you will have to follow them. We are preparing you to exit.
Honorable Rachel Taylor, Minister of Education, was one out of the other members of the ministerial body present at the seminar who elucidated to the students on the importance of having a good attitude and taking the opportunity to introduce the newly passed scholarship program.
We have just passed the scholarship policy, and the scholarship policy has been amended to capture the gaps in the skill set of this country. So therefore, your guidance counselors and your principals from the various schools will be provided with a copy of the scholarship policy. It will definitely be uploaded to our website page so that you will have a better understanding of the various skill sets that are needed when you apply for your scholarship.
Honorable Taylor also introduced to the students the Internship and Apprenticeship program, where students would be given the opportunity to gain experience on their respective career path choices to aid them when seeking employment.
You will learn about the Internship and Apprenticeship program, providing opportunities for our students who venture into the Turks and Caicos Islands Community College. If you take that avenue, or if you take the avenue to study online with the University of the West Indies Open Campus, or if you decide to travel overseas internationally to further your studies, upon returning to the Turks and Caicos Islands during your Easter break, your Christmas break, your summer break, opportunities will be provided for you where we will align you with a hotel, in whatever area it is. So there's someone who's studying law. Upon your return, we will align you with a law firm so you can gain the necessary what? The necessary what? Experience.
She continued that as the Minister of Education, Labor, and so forth, it is the responsibility of her, along with her team's responsibility, to supply the youth with the necessary keys to progress in the TCI.
When you return, what is sometimes said? You lack the experience. So as the Minister for Education, Labor, Employment, and Customer Services, we are providing that avenue for you to gain that experience. So when you return, you will get an easy transition into the workforce. So that is what we are putting in place for you. Now I want to say something to you, because as the Minister for Labor, for my 1 year, I've been grateful to listen to a lot of our local people cry about not having an opportunity.
She urged students to seize the opportunities that will be afforded to them, reminding them that nothing in life comes easy and that they must work hard for their credentials, which will be beneficial to their careers.
And I guarantee you that with a good attitude and no CXEs, you still can become what you want to be. I want to say to those students who are part of the CVQ program, what we have recently introduced as well is the TVET, Technical Vocational Educational Training, that will provide the CVQ students the opportunity to transition into the TVET program. We need to diversify our economy, and you need to diversify your skills.
Honorable Taylor encouraged the students to learn a new skill, emphasizing that the Turks and Caicos Islands is a tourist-driven destination in which those skills can come in handy.
When we hear about certain skills, but we have to drive the tourism industry. We have to drive it. When we walk into our restaurants and our front desk at the hotels, we need to see you. We need to see you. So I'm going to encourage you, listen very carefully. Some of you might be saying, oh my God, the minister said, listen very carefully. I'm on my way out. That's why I said exit readiness. And I want to say to some of you who may be saying, you know what, I didn't work hard enough throughout my high school year, but it's okay. I want you to leave remembering this word, attitude. It's your attitude that you're going to take to university. It's that attitude you're going to take into the workforce. And it is that attitude that will make a difference.
Lavenia Hamilton Bishop, the guidance counselor at the Clement Howell High, spoke to Newswatch, being one of the organizers of the event.
So today we are hosting our annual Exit Readiness program, where we aim to prepare students for the world of work and in addition for college experiences. So we bring in persons throughout the HR departments in the country to give brief presentations and also to provide tips going forward.
Bishop explained that much details went into planning the event, being as though they had to take into consideration what interests and career fields were appealing to the students for the direction the world is heading.
Each year we kind of build, we look at what the current needs are in the job market. We look at the interests of our students at this current time. And as we know that the area of careers a developing one. So we would see that students are now preparing or pursuing more emerging careers. So we try to advance ourselves each year and be as inclusive and diverse as possible in terms of preparation, who we select as the representatives to speak to them, and making sure that it's a wide platform that gives them the preparation for any career that they want to pursue.
She continued that this year's theme for the seminar was Pursuing the Career of Your Dreams, where the aim was to create a seminar most suitable for the students' interests.
This year's theme is actually Pursuing the Career of Your Dreams, and it's in line with what I just mentioned previously. As I said, we have more students pursuing emerging careers. They're straying away from, or not limited to, I should say, the doctors, the lawyers. We now see persons want to be YouTubers, cosmetologists, makeup artists. So the world of work, or the perception of what is professional, is changing. So we wanted to let our students know that they have our full support and in pursuing the careers that seem to be on the uprise, and to know that it does not mean, because it's an uprising career, it does not mean that they cannot be successful in that area. So we want to motivate them to pursue whatever career they desire to do in their adult life.
Bishop shared that she was content with the turnout of the seminar and pleased with the response from students, to which we got the perfect one.
I think it's really good to be here because I'm learning how to set up a resume, how to search for a job, and I'm learning many things that would be beneficial to my pursuit of my dream career. So I think it's a very good learning experience to be here.
Yuan Seo explained that he learned many things in the seminar, such as the do's and don'ts of when applying for higher education or jobs, which will be very useful for when he exits high school.
Basically, for about all of these presentations, they're just telling you about what to do and what not to do. So a very good example is that a resume should be very brief, because not all employers take a detailed look at it. So they're basically just giving us the tricks and the trades within the labor force, and I think that's very good.
He continued that what resonated with him most was a little thing Honorable Taylor said during her presentation.
Our Honorable Minister actually said that attitude is the most important thing when going into the workforce or any other type of education. So I think that has really resonated with me, because I was raised to be proper. So I think that attitude is definitely one of the most important aspects of a person, and that is very applicable in the workforce.
The government has embarked on a project that will help the Turks and Caicos Islands better understand the forces impacting the country's coastlines and tidal waters. Delana Isles has the details.
Last Friday, February 12th, the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Josephine Connolly, formally accepted critical equipment that will be used to increase knowledge and understanding of coastlines and their dynamic nature. The project is being conducted through the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources, DECR, and the Public Works Department, in collaboration with engineering and environmental consultant CBCL Limited. The minister says this is a significant step for the TCI in light of the extreme impacts posed by climate change that could potentially derail the tourism product, which relies heavily on the island's beautiful white sandy beaches. Honorable Connolly says that her attendance at last November's COP26 summit as one of the delegates for the UK Overseas Territories proved to be a very enlightening experience, underpinning the understanding that the TCI needs to be prepared for climate change and its cumulative threats and impacts. Last Saturday, the team from the DECR, Public Works, and CBCL Limited commenced installation of the equipment in TCI waters. Each apparatus is solar-powered and will collect wave, wind, temperature, and surface elevation data. Honorable Connolly says that all of the data will be transmitted electronically to a dashboard for viewing and further analysis to help determine tidal patterns, forces, and the physical interactions impacting the island's shoreline. The overarching components of the project have been divided into 8 main tasks, which constitute the scope of work for the study. They are shoreline characterization and data collection, stakeholder consultations, climate risk vulnerability assessment, preliminary design of coastal protection solutions, feasibility study, environmental and social impact assessment, preparation of detailed designs, and shoreline management plan. At the end of the project, the TCI is expected to have both a comprehensive shoreline management plan framework, starting with Providenciales and Grand Turk, as well as a feasibility study with preliminary and detailed designs for coastal protection. Works for 3 priority areas of TCI coastline, including Grand Turk, Salt Cay, and Providenciales. The DECR is now advising the general public, marinas in particular, not to be alarmed with the sighting of any buoys near the islands. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Alves.
Don't touch that remote, we'll be right back. Coming up next is your weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. Here's your weather forecast for February 18th, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 75, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:19 a.m., sunset 5:49 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 8:34 a.m., 8:55 p.m., and low tides 2:22 a.m., 2:46 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. In regional news, the Dominican Republic has announced yesterday, February 17, 2022, that all COVID-19 restrictions are to be removed, in a move that is sure to delight millions of travelers who visit the Dominican Republic each year. The country's president revealed that they would be taking a new approach to the pandemic, explaining that taking care of oneself is an individual responsibility, before adding that it was time for the country to recover its freedom. The announcement comes off the back of a wave of similar such announcements in Europe, where through either recognition that the Omicron variant is mild or through a change of policy, more and more countries have begun to remove their local restrictions and ease their once prohibitive entry requirements. Here's a look at what's set to change in the Dominican Republic, what the president had to say, and what this means for travelers. Wednesday night could prove to be a watershed moment for travel to the Caribbean after the president of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, announced that all the restrictive measures imposed as a result of COVID-19 were to be suspended from that day. In doing so, the Dominican Republic will be leading the way amongst Latin American and Caribbean countries when it comes to easing restrictions, a move that could have a hugely positive impact on the country's tourism sector. We gathered from traveloffpath.com that other Latin nations like Mexico and El Salvador have removed all entry requirements but still have mask mandates in place. The announcement means that restrictions that once prevented travelers from being able to make their most of trips to the Dominican Republic, such as the mandatory wearing of a face mask and the need to show proof of vaccination in order to access certain places, are now gone. Such restrictions had previously been bolstered, with the need to show proof of having a booster vaccine needed too. Thankfully for travelers, such requirements are now set to be kicked to the curb. Announcing the changes to the restrictions, President Abinader said, measures such as the use of the mask, the need to present the vaccination card to all public places, or the restriction in public places today are the individual responsibility of each and every one of us. After this long battle, we began to recover our freedom. The changes were announced by President Abinader in a live speech that was broadcasted by several media outlets in the country. Despite the changes, Abinader stressed that Dominicans were still encouraged to get fully vaccinated against COVID-19, whilst adding that the government would continue to monitor the situation closely and that their health system was prepared to deal with any eventuality. Referencing the sacrifices many have had made in order to be able to repeal their restrictions, Abinader said, "Thanks above all to the millions of Dominicans who complied with the measures and went to get vaccinated. Thanks to all this, we have overcome the worst of the pandemic. Today, the daily infections and those of the last 4 weeks are in sharp decline. We have one of the lowest mortality rates in the world and a very low hospital occupancy. At present, travelers do not have to show a negative test of proof of vaccination or a pre-flight test in order to enter the Dominican Republic, though they may be subject to a random rapid breath test upon arrival. It is unknown at this time if these random breath tests will also be discontinued, but it's assumed they will." That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Pinales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated until next time.